I think the word retirement is a dirty word. I think it's a filthy, dirty word. It means you're stopping doing something that's important. You're retiring from something. You're pulling yourself out of the game. You're stopping. I'm sure there are many people out there who are looking forward to retirement and look at it as a goal. I look at it as a sentence, as a punishment for not being relevant anymore. I might be in the minority, but frankly, the idea terrifies me. And I'm on the cusp of my 60th birthday. I'm at the age where so many of my people in the same age group as myself are facing retirement, either looking forward to it or they are fearing it. And I'm wondering how you feel about that and where you are with that. And the closer I get to 60, the more I start thinking about ways to avoid the inevitable. Not that inevitable. The inevitable shift from being a vital member of the business community to becoming less and less at the center of things and more of a fringe player. That horrifies me. I don't want to do that. I want to remain right in the middle of everything interesting going on as long as I live. I want to remain relevant in my family's life and in my community's life and my employees and my team members' life. I want to still have an opinion and still help people and give people ideas on ways to do things better and ways to make their life better. That's what I want to do. And so I got to figure out how to do that. And I'm wondering if you feel the same way. Are you facing retirement and looking forward to it? And saying, this is good, it's time for a rest that I've earned? Or are you going to rail against it and are you going to stay with your job as long as you can? Or are you looking for something else, something after the current job you're in? I was at a wedding a couple of weeks ago and I had a nice long conversation with a lawyer, a corporate lawyer that was there, and he's the exact same age as I am, and he could not wait to retire. He was embracing it with both arms and giving it a big old hug, and he was just weeks away from it, and nothing was more exciting to him, and his eyes absolutely lit up at the thought of retirement. And I got to tell you, I thought that was kind of sad. Now, I'm sure he's happy, but isn't it terrible that he worked so hard to gain mastery of a career that he was in, which is such an important job that he did, which required so much skill and ability, and yet he couldn't wait to stop doing it. When he's still at the top of his game, sharp as a tack. He obviously has a lot to give still, and he's fully capable, but yet he's looking forward to getting out of it because he doesn't enjoy the work. And I suspect he doesn't necessarily enjoy the companionship of the people that he's working with. And I thought that's a real tragedy. It's a real shame. But it doesn't have to be the end for everybody the same way. And so as I've been thinking about this, I've been increasingly thinking about something that is become a real phenomenon in business, which is the side hustle. If you follow Gary Vaynerchuk, you hear the younger generations are constantly doing something called a side hustle. And what a side hustle is basically it's something that you do off the side of your desk. It's a hustle, a business opportunity that you grow while you're still actively employed by corporate entities. You've got a regular job, you do your job, but at the side, in your spare time, you're nurturing your own thing. It could be a podcast, it could be a blog, it could be a video series, it could be a product you're building, it could be, you're nurturing something else on the side. Typically speaking, they have an online ramification or a social marketing ramification or kind of affiliation, but you're building something on the side. Now, it's something that might just be a passion, or it could be something that you're hoping to build into an entrepreneurial effort that you can then transition instead of looking at the traditional path within, going to another business for an advancement or applying for new jobs within your own organization to advance. Instead, they're looking at stepping out as the advancement, stepping into their own thing, having their side hustle turn into their main hustle, turn into a business that they can then grow. And they are setting the stage for that. And I love that idea. I'm not sure how I would feel if all of my staff were doing it. Although people who work for me are constantly, my staff, which are all part-timers, I encourage them all in their side hustle. I encourage them to be doing their own thing, and I try and support them in it. So I'd love to see them get to the point where something on the side explodes to the point where they aren't working for somebody else, but they're doing it full-time for themselves. That's massive success as far as I'm concerned. But if we look at that model, I'm wondering how many people in our age group, 50 and older, are saying, I'm going to start fostering a side hustle of my own. I'm going to start taking what I know and I'm going to start building it into something social, on the social side, and I'm going to start growing it to the point that when retirement comes, I can turn my side hustle into my thing. Now, there's a whole bunch of benefits to this. First of all, there's relevance, remaining engaged and relevant and busy. There's the fact you can continue to give back. All of the knowledge you have, all of the understanding and comprehension that you've built up through your career is not lost. It's still then in the marketplace, being shared, being spread. Financially, it might be something that's really appealing for people as well. A lot of us aren't necessarily going to be in a position to retire comfortably at the end of our normal working life, and we can be looking for some additional income. And the security of having a side hustle, something that you can count on for revenue and that you understand the revenue potential of, that could be something that's very appealing as well. There's lots of appeal to this. And I'm wondering where you sit on that. I'm fascinated by it. I'm fascinated by the fact that I've sort of done that myself, except I did it at a much more accelerated rate when I transitioned from traditional media into online. But it was very much for the first little while, because how successful I was, it was a side hustle because it took me a long time to get my feet under me to figure it all out. So I'm wondering how many of you are looking at the same thing, and are you interested in learning more about how you start a side hustle? What are the revenue opportunities? What are the different properties you can do? Can you find a place to fit? Can you find something that gets and fires your imagination to build yourself? Does this appeal to you? It's something that I'd sure like to hear what you're all thinking about, because I'm thinking about spending a little bit more time talking about this stuff. I'm thinking about spending a little bit more time, maybe even putting on some webinars around how to start a side hustle, what are the revenue opportunities in the online space. Try and put together, I do X, Y, Z, and now I understand a little bit more about how podcasting or blogging or YouTube video or streaming video or affiliate marketing or Amazon sales. I'm learning about how the different online business models work and trying to find a marriage between the skills that you've developed over your career and the opportunities, the online opportunities that are there. A huge and bewildering array of. There are just so many opportunities to earn revenue, but what resonates? What speaks to you? I'm putting it in your hands. I want to hear what you think about that. Maybe, and if you do think that retirement is something that you are fully comfortable with the prospect of, I'd love to hear that too. As I say, I'm probably we're not going to be on the same page as that. I know myself that I definitely want to remain busy, want to remain in business, want to remain doing the sorts of things that I do. And I guess I'm blessed that way because I truly love it. I truly love the opportunity to build a community, to have these conversations, to explore new opportunities, to figure out how different businesses can work in different business opportunities and put systems in place that leverage those opportunities. I find tremendous satisfaction and tremendous excitement in that entire process. And the fact that I can teach it to others and then give them opportunities to improve their lives in some ways as a result, that's a real bonus, and that just makes it all that much better. So that's it. That was the topic today, and that's the question that I have for you. Is retirement a dirty word? Are you interested in a side hustle? You know what I'm calling? I'm thinking about calling. I'll drop a little teaser. I'm thinking about calling, if we do a webinar, I'm thinking about the title of the webinar being, are you ready for this? The Third Age Side Hustle. Now, the third age is what they call people of our vintage now. We're not seniors anymore. I can't believe I probably am a senior. I'm turning 60. I guess I'm a senior. But now that's not a politically correct term, so they call me third age. I'm third age. How about that? Are you third age too? But I'd rather be called third age than a retiree. Them's fighting words. All right, that's it. Till next time. Comment below. Let me know what you're thinking. We will return to this topic again soon. Have fun storming a castle.